Hello, it's jessicaamaladawn, and I am here with a weekly Divine Love Energy reading for the week of October 25th to October 31st. This is an additional reading that I'm doing in addition to the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energy readings for the week, to dive a little bit deeper into dynamics, more specifically between divine feminine and a divine masculine predominant people, like energies within people, and see kind of how that's like playing out this week. And I think it'll give a little bit more detail to the overall energies that came through in the previous readings. So I'm pretty excited to get into it. We're going to start with some Rider-Waite Tarot. And yeah, it's a pretty, especially the feminine reading, it's a pretty powerful week in terms of coming into an amazing state of balance that's really igniting a new beginning, like almost like being gifted with a level of balance from source that's really gonna help the feminine to like manifest a new level, a new beginning, and a miracle of sorts into their life. And that could be financial, it could be with love, it could be both. My sense is that there is going to be some sort of communication. I mean, there is a lot of cards around that. So I think that there's going to be some important communication coming in that's really going to help ignite that balance. It's going to be really the key. Oh, we have a card flying out. So we got the Tower in reverse, just as an overall start to the reading. So yeah, so again, in the Divine Masculine reading, we had that sort of crisis averted energy. And again, I think that's showing up again here, like some sort of something about moving past a time of difficulty is like a very pronounced this week. Like it's really coming to an end. So let's just take a look at the Divine Masculine's kind of overall energy with relation to love for this week. What's the Divine Masculine's overall energy in relation to love? And the Divine Feminine's overall energy in relation to love? And the combined overall energy in relation to love? Okay, so the Divine Masculine's energy this week with relation to love is being open to a new beginning in love, opening their emotions, opening their connection to divine love as well. I think that's not often mentioned enough, but really just open to like receiving that divine love is very, very, very prominent for the masculine this week. And that's going to overflow their cup into, this is also speaking of like, the 3 awakening of the cauldrons, which came up in their reading this week. And like filling up these cups with divine light and love in a way that they haven't had access to previously, the way that the feminine or people with a predominance of feminine energy have. And that's really going to move things forward in a positive, I hear like a very fluid flowing direction after a lot of stagnancy, which is like really, yeah, I really feel that strongly. And then for the feminine energy, we've got the 3 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, the feminine's kind of, there's a bit of a restlessness, a bit of an impatience, like, feeling like a lot of work has been done and you've, set sail to the ships and waiting for something to come home, waiting for the fruits of your labor. But with regards to love specifically, the feminine is kind of like tired of waiting. And the combined energy here is the 4 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, this could speak to different things. It could be some sort of a delay in moving homes. It could be to do with a delay in some sort of coming together. It could be a desire to come together in a type of union. We've got that sort of insinuation of the 1111 with this card, and sometimes this card signifies marriage. But with the reverse, there's some sort of like, I think it's like there in the background that this is something that is, you know, coming together in a more profound way, in a bigger commitment, is something that is in the background, but it's not like, I just think that because there's a little bit going on personally with the masculine in terms of opening to love in a broader sense, and because the feminine's still kind of working through some of this, I guess we'll just say these like frustrations of waiting, I think it just creates a little bit of challenges in fully coming together fully harmoniously in this union energy. So that's the overall energies. And then what do I have in terms of how the divine masculine is feeling overall towards the feminine this week? And what do we have? Well, how is the spirit, how is the divine feminine feeling overall towards the divine masculine this week? What's the overall combined energy for the feelings of the union space this week? Wow, okay, this is super positive. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles for the divine masculine. So I mean, when you've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups coming through for where they're at, that's a very, very strong sign that they are ready for a new beginning. Absolutely. And this just makes it a lot more physical. It really brings it into the realm of physical. And, you know, wanting to, this, you know, this is some sort of guidance, I think, divine guidance that's coming through, igniting the desire to kind of move this forward with this connection in a more physical way. That's how I see that. And then for the feminine energy, we've got the Fool. Again, like, it's sort of like, how is she feeling about the masculine? She's kind of, like I said, she's kind of tired of like waiting, you know, like there's almost like a burden, a little bit of a weighted burden of how much effort that she put into this connection with the divine masculine. And it's like, and feeling kind of like she's been waiting so long, she doesn't even remember the ships that she set off to like see, and she doesn't even really know what she's yielding. And it's just like, there's just this desire to kind of like, well, let it all go, you know, and just like start over, start fresh. But you know, is she willing to start fresh with the divine, you know, masculine, right? Because right now these are like, they're kind of like looking the opposite way, and it's just, well, no, and am I reading your face in the same way? So is she gonna like take a leap of faith on this offer, you know, or is it wise to do so, or is she gonna like be like being, because she's kind of forgetting about all of this past stuff, like, you know, she's just so tired of waiting, like, is she gonna end up jumping off of a cliff and doing something rash? So, but the combined energy in the middle of all of this, you know, coming together with this new beginning, like unequivocally fresh start, 0 point, totally clean slate, new beginning, is the combined energy for what's in the feeling space of this union is the Lovers. So, I mean, it couldn't be really more clear or indicative of, you know, coming into new partnership in a more tangible way, again, because we've got the Pentacles here. So I think it's like kind of unbelievably powerful in terms of the feeling in the heart space of what is desired from that level. Now, I think it's important because the mental space is so significant this week, especially for the feminine. While the feeling space is really, really good, where is the head space at in relation to kind of the overall energy, and how does that affect things? So where's the head space, the mind of the masculine towards the feminine this week? And where's the head space of the feminine towards the masculine this week? And where is the overall kind of shared energy? What's the overall shared mental energy this week of the two? Yeah. So this is, I think, where the challenges kind of lie. It's not really a question of the feelings and what wants to happen from a feeling space, but in the head space of the masculine, we've got here the 5 of Swords, which is very much an energy of like battle and having been defeated, and like it's I feel like what's overcoming them has a lot to do with the past, and like kind of treating this connection in the past like it was a competition, like it was a battle, like it was a game. And in many cases, in the past, feeling like they kind of won out over with certain because of certain choices and actions that they made, and feeling kind of like good about it. And like this is just sort of like because of this past, it gets just overwhelming their mind. And so while this is how they kind of really feel and where they're truly at on a spiritual level now, it's like the mind and the ego still has the memory of all this. And yeah, I think that's a very challenging energy to work through. And in addition to that, they could also feel like they've just been defeated their own life, in a personal situation as well, where someone kind of did something very similar back to them and winning out over them and leaving them to kind of be this character. So, it's a bit of a difficult energy to be in. And with the feminine, what we've got for the headspace towards the masculine is the Seven of Wands, which is all about feeling like you need to maintain the moral high ground. And, feeling like you've got all of these people with all these differing opinions that don't necessarily align with what you're trying to achieve and your mission and your values. And, like, it's kind of in very much in juxtaposition to this school energy of just wanting to, like, let go and be free and start over. But, like, maybe because of, like, practical responsibilities and just, like, the appearance of like 3D realities that are still looming around, like feeling like there's and maybe because of like other people's opinions in general around this connection, like feeling like not totally at ease in the mind around it, feeling like it's sort of like a bit of a battle to kind of justify why this is important. And I just feel like a level of kind of, I just feel like this is an exhaustion. I feel like this is not like really a new energy. It's sort of a lingering energy, just like this is a lingering energy. It's almost like memories of the past, like memories of like holding space for this connection and maintaining the high ground, even though like people were really not on your side about it. Even like a counterpart wasn't on your side about it. And just like working through, it's like working through all of the mental clutter of this past stuff that needs to ultimately go, because the heart space is actually like, it's just could not be more pure and perfect or ready. So, and then what we've got for the combined energy is we have, it was just 13:13 on the clock when I said that. So that's very significant because that's also the 0 point energy. And I think that is really kind of coming through here again with this. So the 0 point emotionally has been reached. It's ready. So it's things have arrived for a new beginning energetically and emotionally. It's the mental stuff that needs to get cleared out. So the combined mental energy is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And this has been lingering around for a while as well. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the conflict between what is, the old ways of achieving abundance and the mental perceptions around that, like how that has to be. And also not even just about abundance, but about, family and traditions. And I feel like there's like a little bit of a knowing that like this is abundant, but also like kind of having like challenges and obstacles around, I guess, the old paradigm ways that feel a little bit out of alignment with this very like high vibrational love energy. So I'm going to pull some more cards because I feel like there's more information to be had on this. Just to clarify also further, the underside of the deck was the Ace of Swords in reverse. So again, this desire, right? Just I think that's important because we've got already on the board the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, and now on the underside we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So like very, very powerful new beginning energies, but there's, because I think again, because of the mental clutter, things need to be cleared. And that's really going to help. Once that's cleared, it's really going to help to bring in like all these manifestations that can start to come through really rapidly from clear, positive thinking from the 0 point. And if you watch the feminine reading, it'll clarify that a lot this week about how the feminine has really reached that state, that feminine energy, I should say, has really reached that state of balance that's ready to really have this like full abundance, this absolute full kind of abundance for all of the efforts that have been put in, right? All of this waiting, this Three of Wands is like turning into this, but without the clearing of that mental clutter, there's a little bit of holdback. So let's pull some, I'm going to pull some advice cards to clarify the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. What's the advice for that overall energy? So we've got the Page of Pentacles upright. So again, I think it's related, and you know what, before I finish, I'm going to also clarify, all three of these cards. I'm going to clarify the Five of Swords for the masculine, and I'm also going to clarify the Seven of Wands for the feminine. Yeah, okay. So what we've got to clarify the Five of Swords is we've got the Two of Swords in reverse. So mentally, I think that like a choice has been made. I do, which is kind of like in alignment with, our choice is being made in alignment with this new beginning. And there's a lot, I think, of divine kind of clarity coming through that's allowing that to kind of this, you know, indecision to be dropped, which is really positive. But I feel like, again, it's just like there's the residues of the battle scars. So I think that it could be also the sense that like one person, because in a lot of cases the masculine has been choosing between two people, like that one person is going to be very hurt or damaged in that process, potentially. That could be going on in the headspace as well. So something to kind of be aware of. And for the feminine, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So again, this energy is like an energy of like feeling like people have been stealing from you, you know? And I think that that's like, there is a lot of that kind of energy going on here with trying to maintain the high ground, trying to give out all this high frequency light, love, high vibrations, like sharing the energies of the higher realms, of Sirius, of the God, you know, just like the God frequencies and the angelic realms, and just like feeling like that was kind of in the past. I think people really felt like this was just getting zapped and stolen out of them, and like not really appreciated, right? It was just like, I'm just gonna take that. I'm just gonna, because I feel like I deserve it kind of energy, you know, without really having any really deeper understanding of it, because of not really having full, like I said, full access and to the fullness of it, and because of that, not really understanding the true sacredness, and then just kind of stealing a certain version of it or perception of it, which ultimately was like, you know, very damaging, and I think left you know, has just like, it's left, I think, some mental scars that need to be cleared out. Like this is like a lot of painful energy here. So in the combined energy, clarifying the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So I think what's going to really help to clarify things is some sort of an offer, but this is a very, very, very slow moving card. Page of Pentacles is the slowest card in this deck. So something about I think there's something about like just like moving kind of cautiously forward. Like, yes, the heart space maybe is really excited about this sort of offer of love and just wants to dive right in, because that could be happening this week, and it's entirely possible. And so the heart, the heart's kind of there, but I think that like for the mind, like to get the head around the bigger picture, because really to make a long-term commitment work, like you want to have this 10 of Pentacles energy, you want to have it all, like the family, the abundance, the stability, the commitment, the love, and that's really all there. It's such a auspicious card, but I think that they're just like, there needs to be a bit of like slowness to like kind of work through these mental things that need to be resolved to kind of move forward. And but yeah, I think that having the Four of Wands, even though they are in reverse, having both of these cards, the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles coming up in the combined energy with the Lovers, is really very, very indicative of relationship. Very positive in terms of relationship and partnership. They've all got like the couples on the cards. It's a real coming together energy. It's very balanced, very balanced. So it's incredibly, it's incredibly positive overall. There's just, some things to be mindful of, especially since we're coming into these new moon and Scorpio energies. And there's going to be a lot of like emotions coming out. Like, I think that's what's really kind of driving like this whole Ace of Cups and the Lovers and the Fool energies. Like it's bringing all of this up, which is, it's positive, but it's like really important to make sure that your headspace is good. So meditation and like journaling to get things out of your head is really, really important at this time. So in addition to this, we're going to pull an Avalon Oracle card about, clarifying where things are at with regards to love, divine love for the week between the masculine and the feminine. Yeah, I was called Moon of Reconciliation. I knew there was a reason why they were asking me to pull this deck. Now, this card is actually to do with the reconciliation of a mother and her child who was taken away from her for wrongful reasons, because of other people's like wrongdoing, and then they were eventually reunited. And I feel like in this case, I think that in a lot of circumstances, the predominantly divine masculine person had certain people kind of in their life that really created a situation that wrongfully accused the feminine, just like she was wrongfully accused. I'm not sure if that's Bronwyn. I have to look. But because of this wrongful accusation, she lost her son. And I think because of a lot of this wrongful accusation of the feminine, she lost her ability to connect with her masculine counterpart. And so something about justice being kind of resolved around this to end that separation because of what happened, because whatever was said or done, is happening this week. And I think that brings me back to this whole thing about that Five of Swords energy, that battle energy, and creating like some damage and some scars, and then like the feminine then having to kind of try and maintain the high ground, I guess, because all these people were sort of pointing the finger and accusing. So it's really about like coming to resolution around all this, and like because it's in the mental space, it could be that there's like communication regarding resolving all of this stuff this week, is what I feel. So that's really positive. And it's really going to bring things into the golden light, that I've got in my painting, the golden light in his outfit, the golden new beginning, and, the moving into that golden age, that new earth era. So, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Let's see if there's any messages from our beautiful keepers of the light for this, to oversee this connection, this divine love reading for the week. Nice, yeah. So we've got here faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. So it's just a reminder that amongst whatever might be coming up this week, communication-wise, that in some cases might be like hard to work through, might be disturbing, might make like some people seem like bad, or like they really are like, yeah, like maybe even a little bit inhuman, very selfish. I think that the whole message here is to stay calm around it and to like see the light in everyone and to try and see the good in everyone and in yourself. So I'm really doing a lot of like healing and spiritual growth around that and kind of having a higher faith in how everything has worked out and the greater process of the greater process of Ascension, the underside of the deck, Serapis Bay. And I've been actually thinking a lot about Serapis Bay because I was connecting with the oak tree in meditation, and it came to me that it really, like, we're really being asked to connect to Serapis Bay at this time and to kind of like leave all the distortion of the DNA and of the bloodlines from like the pharaohs, like, and like really connect to the original ascension template and you know the to treat like the temples at Luxor and like the temples, the pyramids at Giza and the Sphinx for what they really are, which is like conduits, communication devices to star beings, to other galaxies, to other planets, and to assist us to, you know, ascend and to like reconnect into being a cosmic communication center as it was always meant to be, as Earth was always meant to be. And, you know, and like if there's, it's, I think it also says here, move into your true self, rise above darkness, the light is here. And it also came to me that there might be temptation this week. Like, so, I mean, the shadow side of that Ace of Pentacles is like there might be some sort of like, there could be some sort of temptation around money and bribery. And that also could be why the Ten of Pentacles was in reverse. Like something kind of negative around money is what I had saw in my meditation. And like it's just really important to be very like aware and to proceed from the light and like regardless of any fears that might be present around finances at the moment, that it's really really important to move into your true self above all and like knowing like that the light is here, that the time of coming into this beautiful 5D new earth is here, and to release the old ways, to release that old anything that might tie you to that old distorted DNA, those distorted dark bloodlines that have kept humanity imprisoned and disconnected from their higher selves and from their cosmic connections for millennia. So, I am going to leave it there. I am glad I did this extra love reading for the week. I will be back soon with another video, and I'm sending you lots of love. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and share it. And I wish you all many blessings and love on your divine love journey. Namaste.